Soul polishing. Even diamonds so highly treasured are as dull as sand pebbles until polished to their much appreciated luster. Spiritual cleansing occurs in the physical world when people come together, both the good and the bad, to polish each other's souls. Those purified in body and spirit can pass through times of great tribulation with much ease. You cannot judge conclusively if someone or something is good or evil. In the eyes of God, even evil has a purpose. As a matter of fact, the polishing of your soul, your spiritual training and cleansing, are a result of the dark forces. Dark forces make you suffer, and in the training that ensues, your soul is getting polished. Therefore, dark forces are like rubbing stones that train and cleanse good people. To make a good sword in olden times, a smith first thrust the rough metal into a hot fire. Once it had softened sufficiently from the heat, he withdrew the metal, hammered on it while it was still hot, and then thrust it into cold water. This process was done over and over again until the raw material had been forged into a beautiful, powerful sword. The same process applies to our own lives. Who hasn't had to face the hot fires of criticism, the hammering of persecution, and the cold waters of rejection? Since ancient times, those who have accomplished truly great things have suffered unusual hardships, like the forging of a sword. The spiritual explanation is that the greater a person's mission is to be, the harder are the trials first endured. So we should be grateful for all difficult experiences.
Good evening, everybody. Um, Thank you very much for being here today, for receiving me in your home, and thank you for all those who have, has been helping us to do these services. And uh, today we received your ray. We prayed for our ancestors, for our friends, and we also pray for those who are going through so much with the COVID-19. One thing that is important for us to know is that Jore is an amazing gift from God and Meishu-sama to all of us. So we should, as much as we can, experience Jore, channel Jore, receive Jore. Even it's from a distance. So, through like the Zoom, how we do it, online Jore. But we have to continue as much as we can to channel Jore. Because as we know, Jore is this divine energy transmitted from an individual to another for spiritual healing. So it will help all of us to go through so much. It will help all of us to, like the teaching says, for our soul, to polish our soul, our spirit. So since we have Jore, we have services that we can get together and pray for all humanity. We have the teachings of Meishu-sama that will help us to grow more and more people can get in contact with those teachings. I ask you to continue sharing those links and inviting your friends and families to attend and pray together with us. And also remember to also explain to them what is Jore, this divine energy that helps them to purify their spirit and their physical body. Be grateful. Be grateful. It's so important to have gratitude, to say thank you for whatever reason. Be grateful for all difficult experiences that you're going through right now. Be grateful. I know it's difficult to be grateful when something wrong or something bad is happening, but be grateful when somebody criticizes you. You can be grateful for that because you're always learning something. Actually, those who criticize you, usually they are not as good as you. Be grateful when somebody rejected you. because you can always remember that you will never be rejected by God and Meishu-sama and by so many other people. Be grateful. If somebody steals something from you, or that you lost something, you can be grateful. You know why? Because all those difficulties, all those criticisms and tough times that you go through, they are all important for your soul polishing, to purify your spirit. Because remember, we all have so much spiritual clouds. Every one of us, we have some spiritual clouds for something we did in the past, in our past lives. Now we are here, good. But sometimes thing happens to us that we don't know the reason why. We don't know what's the law applied in this situation. But there is a law, the cause and effect. The law of the spirit that precedes the physical. If something is not doing well in our spirit, it will reflect on our physical body someday, sometime. And that's when we become purified. We need to be polished every day, every time. Not just our physical body, but our spiritual body. Just remember, your spiritual cleansing will happen right here in this physical world, right here in this world. I know some people may think, well, I have my spiritual clouds, but I don't know when it's going to happen. Well, it is happening right here in this planet Earth. And it is important. But it's all for the better. Every time when you go through difficult, you'll be polished to grow more, like a diamond. Yeah? So we need to be polished and shine like there is a song, Rihanna. I was listening to that song and I remember about these teachings when she says, shine, you have to shine bright like a diamond. You know, a diamond, in order to become that beautiful, shining, and powerful diamond, it goes through so much polishing. So we have to go through so much to become like that diamond and shine. Shine bright like a diamond. That's the song. I remember that song. I liked it. It is hard to go through so much. It is hard to go through the polishing, to go through purification, to go through so much unusual hardship. But you will truly accomplish great things because you're going through so much purification. So all those that you see, they're going through so much, usually they accomplish many things because they have gone through so much purifications. And eventually, we all become beautiful. It's the same as you heard about the bamboo, the bamboo stalk. When you see a bamboo, they grow tall, really tall. Tall and tall. And it could be a hurricane or typhoon, whatever strong winds, they don't break. They stay there. They go from one side to the other, but they stay strong, so strong, the bamboo. Why? Because of all those nuts that a bamboo has. When the bamboo are growing, it stops for a moment, and then it begins to create those knots hard. That we can compare with suffering, going through hardships and difficulties, that making it stronger, and then it continues to grow, and then stop. Another knot that is created, and another go through so many other difficulties and situations. It makes you strong, and that's why a bamboo can grow so tall, and you're not gonna be breaking so easy. You don't break a bamboo just easy. The same as you, the same as all of us. You go through so much, then you become strong. Become strong like that sword that had to go through the hot, fire, and then go to the cold water, and then go take a hammer. And at the end, it becomes very strong and beautiful sword. You're all going through so much, but with Joe Ray, it helps us to go through this process much easier. But some of you, maybe all of you know Mount Fuji, Mount Fuji. When I went to Japan for my spiritual training, I had a strong desire to one day, I wanted to visit Mount Fuji. It's a beautiful Mount Fuji. I say visit because I didn't know at that time that you could actually climb the Mount Fuji. You don't just go see it, you can go up all the way. So I was very happy when I heard about this. So my group at that time, I'm talking about a few years ago, we were all young and trainees. We were taken to climb that Mount Fuji. So beautiful. When we were driving, and I would see it so clear, the weather was beautiful, and the Mount Fuji was there, so beautiful. And I asked Laura to share. Laura, could you share some pictures of the Mount Fuji?
Sure.
We have three pictures. The Mount Fuji is so beautiful, and I'm looking at it, and I was excited to see this Mount Fuji up close. But we were driving to get there. I want to touch it. I want to feel it. Because the Mount Fuji, it was, it is recognized as one of the tallest, or it is the tallest mountain in Japan. So then when we arrived there, I arrived there to a point where I could climb it. Then we started to move, climbed it, and I saw some things on the way. That beautiful Mount Fuji. By walking, I saw many rocks, big rocks, small rocks. There we go. That's the picture of Mount Fuji. That's the Mount Fuji when you see also the Shinkansen, the bullet train right under it. Very far. That's a beautiful picture. There's another picture also, if you can show also. Oh, I was.
For some reason, it's not letting me share the other one. I'm sorry.
At least people have some idea. You have some idea how the Mount Fuji looks like. So you see how beautiful it is, nice. When you see it, it's an amazing. So let me continue. You can already. Thank you. So when I arrived there, I started to climb with my group, and it took about 4 hours to go all the way to the top. A lot of rocks, a lot of holes in it, and it wasn't so pretty when I was in there. But by looking from far away, it was so beautiful. But I went all the way to the top. I walked around the crater, beautiful. And I began to understand that Mount Fuji was prepared by God. It was really prepared by God for us to enjoy its beauty. But, for Mount Fuji to become so beautiful today, it had to go through so many hardships also. Can you imagine? The Mount Fuji, it was formed by an earthquake about 65 million years ago, they say. The first eruption was about 600 years ago. And for more than 10 years, It was active volcano. It was active. And it continued to erupt occasionally. And now we see how beautiful it became. Today, it is not active. That's what they say. And I believe that. And also, we have so many beautiful resorts in the area. If you like hot springs, that's the place to go. And you can enjoy a beautiful scene. Beautiful scene. So when you walk and you see the Mount Fuji, so beautiful. But in order to become that beautiful, what did it have to go through for so many years? The same as when we see someone that we admire, that we see and we say, well, this person is so beautiful, it's so nice. I can see the aura of that person. This person has a beautiful aura. And you may think, oh, probably he or she was born like that. Actually not. They're not born like that. They had to go through so many difficulties and situations, just as the sword, the Mount Fuji, and the bamboo, so that today, when you see someone that you admire, very successful and with knowledge, you understand, well, that person may have gone through so many things. So that's why they are what they are. And we all can achieve that level. All we need to do is understand that even today, with this COVID-19 that is here now, it is here to make each one of us stronger. We have to respect, to take care of ourselves, take care of our health, and understand that it will make us stronger, it will make us more beautiful, purified, and better human beings. Because we have joy, we have service, and we have gratitude. It will help us to shine bright like a diamond. That's what it will do to us. If you're sick right now. If you have material losses or depression or conflict, or maybe you have lack of job, you don't have a job, or financial difficulties, all this is in order to make us stronger and more beautiful and purified. We just need to go through it. How? We pray, we have joy. We continue stronger, believing that this is to make us stronger, to make a better instrument of God. Before I finish, I'd like to just share one passage that happened with me many years ago. I would say probably about 18 years ago. I had hiccups, soluso, ipo, hiccups for 26 days. I know some people, they know about it. They know there are studies, they say if you have for more than 10 days, you could die, or 20 days, whatever it is. I had 26 days of hiccups. And thanks for my wife, she's here today. She helped me to go through this hiccups. It was something that I don't expect you to go through at all. To go through hiccups. You may ask, well, how come, minister, hiccups? Yes, hiccups. It could kill you. When I started to have those hiccups, the first day, it was like, what is this? I was like this. And then, okay. I thought it was going to go around, go away. But it didn't go away. And I started to receive Jorei, and it didn't go away. And I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep every day. You know, after 5 days, 8 days, you're still okay. But imagine after 10 days, 15 days, each time when the hiccup comes, it's like somebody's punching you on your chest so hard. I didn't know what to do. We prayed so much. My wife, she had strong faith that it will go away. So she was there with me every night and day, giving Jorei and cooking and trying to see if I eat something and giving Jorei. And then she started to call other ministers for help. This situation went all the way to the sacred grounds in Japan. And then she received the guidance that hiccups, he has hiccups, that has to do with his ancestors. One of his ancestors may have died by hunger, no food, hungry. So tell her to go to the altar and pray, offer food, offer prayers for the ancestors. Do this. And so she did. By that time, it was already 24 days with hiccups. By the way, I went to the it was so strong. I went to the hospital, to the emergency room. I couldn't stand it any longer. It was already, I think, it's been many years. I didn't have to go to the doctor for many years. I have Jorei, good health and everything, but I had to go. I went to the emergency room. When I went there, the doctor looked at me and said, well, lie down here and I'll see what I can do for you. I asked him, but what can you don't know how to take care of this? And he said, well, what we do in cases like this, we just give you a shot, something that put you to sleep. So you're going to sleep, you need to sleep. I said, okay. And then how about when I wake up? He said, well, when you wake up, we have to see. It may come back again. I said, oh, thank you very much. I told my wife, let's go. And the doctor said, no, you can't go. I said, no, I want to go home. So I went back home and I continued receiving Jorei, received that guidance from Japan. My wife then started to pray for the altar. I prayed, lying down, I was praying too, but she prayed in front of the altar. And then she couldn't, she didn't have anything to offer to the altar, but she remembered to offer donations. So she wrote a check, put on the altar for the ancestors, representing all our gratitude and feelings. She put that and the food. And then I fell asleep. I slept for 2 hours. For 2 hours. I feel like crying when I tell this story. For 2 hours I slept. It was so amazing. When I woke up, I looked at my wife and said, what happened? And she was crying. She said, you slept, finally. I asked her, what happened? And she told me that she prayed, put some food and offerings and the donation. I said, okay. And by that time, the hiccup came back again. I told her, why don't you do all over again? Go there, put the offerings, and whatever money we have, I don't know, put the donation. And she said, okay. So she did all over again, and she continued giving Jorei, and the hiccups were starting to diminish. Now, why am I telling all this story of my life? I had diagnosed by the doctor a long time ago when I was young that I had arrhythmia. It's my heart beat too fast. The doctor always told me when I went to see the doctor, he said, you have a heart problem. It beats too fast. My wife always complained, oh, your heart is always fast and strong. And I knew I had that problem. After 26 days with hiccups, I prayed for my ancestors and I recovered. When I went to see the doctor, and when my wife checked on me, she said, I cannot hear your heart any longer. Are you alive? I said, of course I am, but I cannot hear it. I cannot even almost feel it. So after going through so much, I discovered my health. Until today, I feel great just because I had to go through that purification. And Joe Ray, praying for my ancestors, helped me to go through this. So I'd like to thank you all very much for listening to this experience and to participate with you in this process of growing, of polishing our soul. So the only thing I have to tell you is have gratitude, appreciate your life, appreciate everything you have. Thank you all very much, and please continue attending all those services, those beautiful morning services and evening services with those faith experiences. Thank you very much.